color, there's more flavor to it, is a representation of it having minerals and nutrients in it. The pink Himalayan salt, there's also like red algae salt that's going to have some nutrients in it. I'm not sure if it has a lot of minerals, but either way, that's why you're craving salty foods. So eat more, like green vegetables too are going to have a lot of minerals in it for you. Eat more foods that are grown in rich mineral soil, and maybe take a supplement if you need to. So the next type of craving that we have is sugar. People are really like craving sweet things all the time. Oh, I'm craving sweet things, especially maybe like after dinner, really late at night when you're kind of like staying awake and all of a sudden the sweet tooth hits you. Or maybe I'm just talking from personal experience, because that's when my sweet tooth totally hits me. But anyway, to get rid of sweet cravings, you just need to eat more natural sugars. And the thing about a craving is that it sounds bad. It's not just like, oh, I'm craving an apple. Nobody really talks about their apple cravings, because it's a good thing. When you're talking about cravings, especially controlling cravings, like in the title of this video, it's things that you don't want to be eating, so it's a bad thing. So maybe like the sugar craving for pastries, ice cream, something like that. You can always do a healthier version of ice cream, like nice cream. You can eat cereal. Like, there's a lot of healthy sweet things that you can be eating. But if it's at the end of the night and you are all of a sudden craving something sweet, the reason that you're craving something sweet is because you just didn't get enough sugars in throughout the day. So if you don't want to eat dessert late at night, or if you do want to eat dessert late at night, get a healthy version of a dessert, eat some cereals, eat some fruits. But a lot of times the reason people don't want to eat a dessert, a lot of times because of fruit, like a fruity dessert, is because if they eat a high calorie, maybe a dinner that has some fat in it, the sweet fruit won't digest very well on top of it. So in that situation, if you don't want to be eating your dessert later, if you don't want to be eating like high watery foods that are going to not digest well on top of really heavy rich foods, you want to eat that early in the day. So make sure you're eating so much fruit and natural sugars that by the end of the day you're not craving it, because your body has enough. You're satisfied. You're sufficiently satisfied with your sugars and your glucose needs, and then you won't really have those cravings. But not that sugar cravings are bad. So if you do, because I know that I wouldn't crave sweets as much at night after dinner if I ate more like sweet fruits and sugary things during the day. But I don't really mind getting like a sweet tooth at the end of the night if I wait a certain period of time after my dinner's digested, and then I go eat some cereal or some like healthy ice cream. Even some now and again, I eat like those Ben & Jerry's non-dairy or some non-dairy sweets, because it's good to treat yourself, but it's not good to have those things every single night. So if you're going to be eating a sweet after dinner, make sure it's something healthy. And if it's something that doesn't digest well and you want to make sure you eat all your sweets before you eat your heavy high-fat meal at night, just make sure you eat a lot of sugar during the day, because then you won't crave it so much at night. If you get it in, if you get it all in, you won't crave it as much at night. And then another thing is just like random cravings. So there's a few reasons why you might just have random cravings, not necessarily for a sweet or for a salty. Maybe you crave bread. Sometimes you just need to eat a lot of food, and it's not a bad thing that you're craving it. Just if you eat enough food, your cravings will go away. If you like bread, eat bread. I mean, if you're celiacs or if gluten really doesn't suit well with you, try to eat other types of carbohydrates, but don't feel bad about eating bread because you see it all over the media, all over newspapers and online, that carbs are bad and that bread is bad. Bread's not bad. If you enjoy bread, eat the bread, maybe not Wonder Bread, try to get some whole grain or some good bakery style bread, but bread isn't that bad for you, and you don't have to feel bad about having cravings for foods that really aren't bad for you. But say you're craving something like animal products, something really, really high in fat, something that is bad for you. Sometimes you're just not eating enough. Like, I crave fatty foods if I haven't eaten enough throughout the day. I'll go for like, in my brain, what will sound the best and the most delicious is the worst kind of foods for me, because they're high fat, they're calorie dense, because I haven't eaten all day. So make sure you're eating enough food for some of these random cravings. A lot of the time it's just because you need to be full and satiated, and your body needs to be all carbed up and fueled up and revved up and ready to go. If you have enough food in your system, you won't have random cravings for things that really aren't good for you. And then I think this is number 4, even though I wasn't really counting, but number 4 reason or thing you can do to stop cravings, and these are for like random cravings, is maybe you're not nutritionally complete. say you're missing a certain nutrient. You might get really hungry for dark chocolate because it's got a lot of something in it. I'm not gonna give an exact example because I'm not really sure what, but that is a reason why you can have a craving for, say, something like olives. There might be a specific nutrient in olives that you need for yourself, so that's why you're going to town on them olives, or whatever it is that might be even like not as good for you, because even olives aren't bad, but obviously if you eat an entire jar it might not be the best, but you ate that entire jar. Why? Because your body was craving something inside of it. Might have been the salt, might have been something else. So it's really good to deconstruct your cravings. Everybody's different. I could crave olives for the fat, you could crave olives for the salt, somebody else could crave olives for a specific nutrient that's inside of them. But so you got to go through each of your cravings, knock it down, break it down, deconstruct it for yourself, for your own needs and your own like feelings and what you eat in your diet. Okay, so in summary, if you want to control your cravings, you must deconstruct them and find the source of the reason that you are having them. There are five different ones, even though I only gave you four. The fifth one is emotional reasons. Sometimes you're just craving something to kind of clog up your feelings. If you eat a lot of high-fat foods, a lot of heavily processed foods, if you just eat a lot of foods, sometimes it just numbs you from feeling things. So that could be another reason why you're craving. So make sure you deal with whatever is stressing you, depressing you in life, or if you're just kind of bored with life, try to go out there and find something that you're passionate about, something to really get yourself going. But that's five. Number 4 was nutrients. Make sure you have well-balanced nutrients. Maybe take a multivitamin, make sure that you're getting a little bit of everything so you don't have this one random craving. Get your blood tested, just to see where you're at on your health. Number 3 was make sure you're eating enough food, because if you just haven't eaten enough all day, then you're gonna crave something that maybe not be the best for you, just to get it in, just to get the food in, the high calorie food in. Or sometimes you're craving something that you might think is a craving because other people tell you that it's bad, but it's really not. Like bread, just eat a bunch of bread. Who cares if you eat a loaf of bread if you eat good things on the bread, Don't load it up with animal products and mayonnaise. Try to get some veggies and, some good, like an eggplant spread, some hummus, peanut butter and jelly, those things aren't so bad. So it's what you put on the bread. Second thing was sweet foods. If you are having too many cravings for sugary and sweet foods, make sure you eat just enough natural sugars. You should not at all be afraid of sweet potatoes, fruit, things that are naturally sweet. Eat as much of them as you want. Even natural sugars like sugar in the raw or maple syrup. Obviously you don't want to go overboard with them, but don't fear it. Eat it. If it's going to taste good and it's going to be like a healthy, you're not going to be addicted to maple syrup like you are addicted to something like Coca-Cola, like high fructose corn syrup. So if you're feeding yourself good natural sugars, you won't crave the bad, nasty sugars. And the last one, number 1, was if you have cravings for salty foods, high salt foods, make sure, again, that you're getting enough nutrients, but mostly minerals. Make sure you're eating leafy greens, a lot of vegetables grown in really good soil. Maybe you could take a tablespoon of molasses or take some sort of supplement that's just like minerals, because that might be a reason why you're craving the salty foods. And if you're going to be eating salt, make sure you get a good quality salt like pink Himalayan or something along those lines. I hope that helps. Let me know down below what you think. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.